Good afternoon. My name is Olga George. I am Mayor Ed Gainey's press secretary. And thank you for coming to the Climate Resilience Mitigation Activities press conference, locally called the Mount Washington Landslide Remediation Project. It is a long time coming. A lot of individuals did a lot of hard work through partnerships and collaboration with FEMA, PEMA, DOMI, the engineering design group, Brian Hensel and his design team, contractors for the Reese Street and Greenleaf Street, Pascal Palado, with company Carmen Palactic Contracting Incorporated, CACI Consultants, Aaron Pickering and his team, Patrick Leach, Christy Zarkshi, John Robinson, and Lance Chemick of Michael Baker International. At this time, I would like to bring forward Federal Emergency Management Agency Region 3 Regional Administrator, Ms. Marianne Turney.
You're a lot taller than me. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, City of Pittsburgh, for your hospitality today, and also the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency, who we've partnered with to support about a $10 million federal share for this landslide remediation project. There is a lot of significantly technical engineering work that's going to go on around Mount Washington to help make the community and the transportation infrastructure more resilient. We're excited to be a part of this, and we look forward to future partnerships with the City of Pittsburgh. Spent a lot of time today touring around, looking at different sites, and talking about how we can continue to build resiliency against landslides in the greater Pittsburgh area. So thank you.
Thank you, Marianne. As we all know, Mount Washington especially is an area that is prone for landslides, and between FEMA, PEMA, and DOMI, they're working really hard to prevent those actions from taking place. Okay. All right, thank you. Next, from PEMA, is Randy Patfield.
All right, thank you. I'll move this back up now. Sorry. So, good afternoon, everyone. It's great to be here today, and I'd like to echo what Administrator Tierney indicated, is the hospitality that has been shown to us, but also the enthusiasm as we toured these areas from the staff and everyone that's been involved in these projects. So I will, hands down, any day come out on a day like today when it's cold and blustery, and even if it's snowing or raining, to talk about hazard mitigation, as opposed to stand here during the middle of a disaster and talk about what we're doing from a response perspective. So hazard mitigation is really critical when we take a look at this. It is really paying it forward to be able to decrease the impacts of future disasters. And the project areas that we toured today really do that, and it's really critical for both the individuals that live in those areas that potentially may be impacted in the future by disasters or landslides, but also for the critical infrastructure that we saw today, the rail lines, the routes, the roadways, all of those other pieces are really critical. And when we look at climate adaptation and we take a look at everything that's happening, we know that in Pennsylvania we have a significant challenge. We know that we have 5 decades worth of data that says we're having more severe, significant precipitation events. Just this past year, we've had 3 or 4 of those that we're dealing with. And the challenge is that there's more in the future. So understanding how our climate is changing and understanding what we need to do to be able to adapt to that, to be able to build more resilient communities, is really critical. And it's great to be able to partner with the City of Pittsburgh, with FEMA, and with all the other individuals and companies that have supported this project. As Mary Ann indicated, these are very complex projects, and it will take a while to be able to work through them. But really, the rewards that you see from them are really critical to be able to protect critical infrastructure, protect people's lives and property moving forward, so that we're not out here in the middle of a disaster talking about this, and we can actually buy down the impacts from future disasters. So we really appreciate the opportunity to be here, to be part of these projects. So thank you.
Thank you, Director. It is a great thing to have partnerships and collaborations to make sure that, things are done correctly to safeguard residents in this area. Next, we will have the Pittsburgh City Council President, Teresa Cale Smith, who this is her district, Council District number 2. And she is shorter, so.
Thank you. I wanted to laugh when she came up and said she was short. I'll be quick because it's freezing and I know I'm so cold I stayed in the car. I'm a wimp. But I do want to thank everyone for all your investment and interest in District 2. We are so grateful for our partnerships with FEMA and PEMA and DOMI, and the work that DOMI does in the mayor's office and our county exec's office and our previous congressman and our current congressperson, and all the people that are helping us get these projects done. It starts with one group and one administration, and they seem to finally finish and end up with another. I'm lucky I've still been here. So I just want to thank you all very much for your partnership. Our district has the most slope remediation issues, and if it were not for your help and your partnership and the governors, we would not have the opportunity to save things like this ball field and areas in our city of Pittsburgh. So thank you very much for everything that you bring to our table, to our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so, oopsie. I think it died, but we're not gonna stop because it's too cold. I think my voice can carry a bit. Okay, so you see the place cards before you, as well as the programs that was giving out. There's a QR code. With that QR code, you can find the program in regarding to the different projects, the streets, why it was necessary for the why FEMA, PEMA, and DOMI chose those different locations, and why it's important to get that project completed. And to talk more about that is DOMI Chief Engineer Eric Filzer. Eric?
Well, thank you, everybody. It is good to be here. This is the beginning of construction, but really just the kind of the middle of a very long process that we've been working together on for the last several years. Before I forget, I want to thank our design and construction teams. Gannett Fleming was our design contractor, and we lost the mic again. They've designed all the projects, and our construction management, construction inspection team, Michael Baker International. All right, maybe that's a sign. Our first 2 project sites have actually been out to bid already, and Carmen Paleota Contracting will be taking those on, so we're excited to be getting to work this winter on those sites. Our 3rd project will be going out to bid shortly. If you know, 2 of our sites are visible here. Our Greenleaf Street site is just right over the hillside here. Our Reese Street site is right over by that radio tower. And then the 3rd part that's part of this project is on William Street, which is just a little bit further down Mount Washington. But as was mentioned, this is about a $13 million project, with $10 million of that coming from the federal government. That's huge for us. We just would not be able to take on a project of that scale ourselves. So we're really thankful for that coming in. This is going to be a big success to be able to tackle landslides on kind of a larger scale basis on a prominent area like Mount Washington. And it's not the only place with landslides in the city. So we hope that this is a kind of a demonstration of a successful local, state, and federal partnership, and may lead to more successes in the future. So from the engineering side, we're really excited to be getting started work, and thank you all.
Thank you, Eric.
I can reset it. It's never done that before.
Okay.
Really ever, but I can reset it. We can keep going.
We'll just keep going.
Okay.
We're just gonna keep going, guys, because it is kind of cold, and I know we would like to move forward with this. So next is, I would like to bring up the City of Pittsburgh Deputy Mayor and the Director of Management and Budget, Jake Pollock.
Thank you, Olga, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us on a cold and windy but very typical early December Pittsburgh day. I want to thank everyone for joining us to recognize and uplift the Gainey administration's efforts to keep residents safe through projects like this Mount Washington Landslide Remediation Project that are fundamentally aimed at addressing the critical infrastructure risks posed to our region by climate change. Our region of Upper Appalachia is one of the few in North America experiencing climate change through increased annual rainfall. This fact, that increase in annual rainfall, is an invaluable asset for our future when we compare it to other parts of the country, which are experiencing climate change through decreasing access to fresh water. But when it's combined with our soft soils, it also creates one of our greatest risk factors for natural disasters in the form of landslides. In fact, the name of the Monongahela River, which if you were to go just a couple blocks that way to Grandview Avenue, you could look down and see, is named after an indigenous word meaning the river of falling banks. So the erosion on the Monongahela River is nothing new, and yet its impact on a fully developed city experiencing increased rainfall as due to climate change is a new risk factor for our city and something we need to plan for, and we need to ensure that our development patterns accommodate. Climate change is a threat to present and future development in our region, and the City of Pittsburgh and our partners in state and federal government are working together to secure our infrastructure to mitigate erosion in our communities. Many of you were able to join a tour conducted by the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure, DOMI, at 3 of the locations where work will be done to prevent landslides for residents and homeowners in the city as part of this project. These projects will ensure the stability of the Mount Washington hillsides, while the city continues our work to develop further mitigation projects to stabilize the slopes of one of our most visited neighborhoods and most iconic views. The work between federal, state, and local officials has been critical in ensuring this effort, and in particular, I want to thank State Representative Dan Deasy and State Senator Wayne Fontana for their support for this project, as well as our local councilperson who you heard from earlier today, Council President Teresa Cale Smith, for her support. I also, of course, want to thank Congressperson Summer Lee for her support at the federal level, as well as Senators Casey and Fetterman for their assistance in seeking the support of this project. I also want to highlight the work of local engineering and contracting firms to ensure successful completion, and I believe that this partnership between the state, federal, and local levels, whether it be in government or in business, shows what partnership and collective effort can accomplish for our region. As you've heard, this would not have been possible without a major grant from FEMA, and so I want to thank Administrator Termy for her support for this effort, as well as the support of FEMA and extending that support down to Pittsburgh, ultimately onto DOMI to complete this project. I'm proud of the hard work that everyone in the City of Pittsburgh has done, especially the DOMI team led by Deputy Director Jeff Scallican and Chief Engineer Eric Sestler, but also the hard work of the not often recognized but very important to this project work of the Office of Management and Budget grants team in the form of grants officers Amanda Burkhart and Andrew Scholl for their hard work in getting Pittsburgh's needs recognized in this project. Residents or anyone interested in learning more can see the full scope of this work using the barcode on the visuals being displayed here or by going to the city's Engage website. In closing, I just want to note that reinvestment in the city's vital infrastructure is a cornerstone priority of the Gainey administration. We've been working hard to ensure that not only are the capital investments being made to correct or fix the needs of past disinvestment in these critical components of our infrastructure, but also that we're investing in the people power in DOMI and DPW and elsewhere to ensure that we can maintain what we have built and continue to build for a vibrant and successful future. And we look forward to working with council over the next couple of days, weeks, in December to secure a 2024 budget that continues to focus on those priorities. So thank you all very much for being here. Thank you to PEMA, FEMA, and all of our state and federal partners for their support for this work. And we're very excited to move forward with this project. Thank you.
That being said, thank you everyone for coming out and kind of being part of the celebration of the landslide mitigation program. This is a great thing for the residents of Mount Washington. It's a great thing for the city of Pittsburgh. And we're thankful that the engineering teams that are here, the design teams that are here, FEMA, PEMA, and DOMI are all working together to keep residents safe. Thank you for attending. Get into the cars, get warm. Thank you.